Hey, gorgeous, welcome to the Miracle Magnet Babe podcast. My name is Dory, and I'm a certified manifestation coach, life purpose coach, and my mission is to inspire you to find your true purpose and passion so you can live the life that you were always dreaming about. I'm taking you to a journey with life coaches, manifestation experts, spiritual leaders to help you to uplevel your life, improve your mindset, and use proven methods for your self development. My goal is to help as many women as possible and to create something that can help you to be the best version of you and live your absolute best life. Hello, good morning, everybody. I would like to welcome the beautiful Nicole on today's show. And she is a physical therapist and she believes everybody can be an athlete. And she helps to develop your mindset and helps you going through the training that you need to be an athlete. So, good morning, Nicole. Thank you for being here with me this morning.
Good morning. I'm so excited to be on. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. I was actually really excited for this interview because I think finally I can get some answers for my problems. Why I'm saying that I hate working out, why I'm saying I don't have time. I'm always tired. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to do anything.
You guys are that's my favorite type of person to work with because you just have to find what's right for you, and you really can grow and mold that into something really great. But we find so many times we're beating ourselves up because we have an idea in our head of what we should be doing or what we're supposed to be doing, rather than actually just maybe listening to our bodies and what our bodies want to do. We have some preconceived notion on what it is supposed to look like.
So is it like you only work with people that going to a gym and give them trainings that's good for them, or you find different like sports or activities for them?
So what I do, I'm actually an online, so a telehealth physical therapist. But physical therapists have license in individual states. So I'm licensed in Illinois and Indiana. So outside of that, I operate as a strength and conditioning coach. And so what I try to do is I help people find ways that essentially they can stay with whatever activity they choose for a long time. So one of my pillars in my business is longevity. So passion, unity, longevity, and integrity are like my four things that I uphold for myself, but I also want my clients to uphold. So we want to find activities that people can see themselves doing in 10, 20, 30, 40 years and still enjoying it. Because if you are able to do that and it's safe for you, then that's a really good spot to be. So I've really niched down, and I work a lot with CrossFit and then triathletes. So I get a lot of swimming, biking, lifting, that kind of stuff. That's my biggest concentration. And the reason for that is that pillar of unity. I believe that when you start to develop a community around your exercise, it really feeds biologically the part of us that really likes to be part of a tribe, and it makes it very much more fulfilling for all of us.
So all your trainings are online?
Yes. Yep. So what I do is exactly what we're doing right now. So I videoed that. But then what I will do is that I meet with clients one-on-one, and I will screen them out. So I would have you tell me about, hey, have you had any past injuries? What's your past experience in sports? What kinds of things have you hated, or what kinds of things have you enjoyed in the past? And then we really start honing in from there. The problem is a lot of people, like what you said, they hate exercise because something has sparked that for them. So sometimes it's that exercise never felt good, like on their body. It actually hurt.
Right.
sometimes it's that they didn't get the results that they wanted. Sometimes it's that there's like this fear based around it that they won't be good enough or they're not going to win. And that can kind of dive into it. So I try to find, because what I find is usually the thing that you hate is actually the thing that's going to lead you closer to the thing that you love. So what I mean by that is I originally started, so I was an athlete in high school, and then I went to college and I decided to become a bump on a log. And I did nothing. And I remember talking to my parents, and they would say, "You're so stressed out. You need to go work out. You need to go do something." And I would tell them I was too busy, that I didn't want to go do that. I hated the gym. I didn't want to run on a treadmill. This was so boring. All of these things that I was telling myself, and the piece that was missing wasn't that I hated running on the treadmill. It wasn't that I hated going to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I was missing the competitive piece for myself and the team piece. So once I kind of merged into adulthood and I started to find those things that really drive me, which is being around other people for me, that really spoke to me is when I'm around other people, I feel more accountable for my goals, and my goals feel much more aligned for me. So then I was able to go through and figure out those activities that kind of fulfilled that. And then, join together. Now I have something that I love in CrossFit and triathlon. So I really try to create that for other people. And a lot of that starts with just movement and learning how to love your body and the way it moves and respecting it, listening to it. And that is a big role that I play as kind of a physical therapist, but also as a wellness coach.
So for you, did you have to work on your mindset first before you get to dive into the CrossFit and the training and all of this that you are doing right now, or it was just coming along the way?
So both. I did not originally, and that's what led to the biggest part of my story. So I started in triathlon. So I'll share kind of a personal part of my story, but what started my triathlon journey was I had about 5 years of infertility at that point in time. And I really needed something that helped me accept that my body was powerful again, because I felt so out of control. My body was not doing what I wanted it to do. I had been unable to conceive even with fertility treatments. My husband and I had a miscarriage. I had to have emergency surgery. There was all these things going on in my body and my mind. And for the first time, I really didn't have control over it. And there's like little things, I think males go through it too, but I can speak from a female perspective for myself. I think there's things as we grow up that we hate about our bodies. And you could ask somebody and they could tell you, "Oh, I don't like the way I have this bump on my nose."
Yeah.
Or my leg.
Everybody has something.
Yes. But infertility was the first time that I, from the inside out, felt like there was something wrong with me. And dealing with that was really just a very ugly time for me on the inside. And so I dove into triathlon, and that really helped me start to feel like my body was powerful and I could overcome these things. But I missed a really crucial step because I didn't do the mindset work at that time. So what I did is that I dove into competitive. I dove into, if I can go faster, if I can train more hours, if I can do more races, then my body is capable. And then I took that same mentality straight into CrossFit. So if I can lift more, if I can be the fastest person in the gym, and I didn't listen to my body at all. I didn't even know my body had a voice besides like, and so that is what happened that led to my major shoulder injury. So I was doing pull-ups in CrossFit. I came off the bar. I felt a searing pain down the side of my shoulder. Thought I would just sleep it off, shake it off. Couldn't lift my arm. Next day I woke up, exact same thing. I was having a really hard time working for several weeks because I couldn't put any pressure. So to do massage or to push down on anybody's body or to help them move their arm after surgery. I couldn't do any of that because my own arm hurt so bad. I went and saw a physical therapist, but they didn't really understand CrossFit. They didn't understand lifting. They didn't know what to tell me as far as what I was and wasn't allowed to do. So they told me, don't do anything except for come to physical therapy 2 days a week. And so then I started to feel very out of control again. And that was the first time that I really had to come to presence with, okay, Nicole, how did you get yourself into this mess? And I kept going back and being like, okay, well, I have not been flexible my whole life. All right, so I missed that. Okay, I wasn't strong enough to be doing those lifts with that poor a form. I needed to go back and work on the basics. And so I was looking at all these boxes. Well, then there was this like crucial box over here that, you know, with the blinking red light, like, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. And that was my mindset. So it was not worrying what everyone else is doing, not worrying what you even did yesterday, but showing up in the present moment as the best version of yourself that day and giving the work to be that, because that's what a true athlete does. When you look at the highest level athletes, they show up for every play on the football field like it's the best play they could do in that moment. They show up in practice like, okay, today I'm going to give my best in this practice scenario. But they know exactly what that looks like, and they're not, you know, the linebacker in a football team isn't worried what the running back is doing. If they're having their best day, they're not competing against each other. They're just both trying to do their best. And that was the mindset that I needed to get to. I needed to become a lot more introspective. I wanted to be on a team, but it was okay to need that team camaraderie, but I didn't need it to fulfill myself, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so now that's what I help other people do. So is, what is the foundations of becoming an athlete for yourself? When you embody that, what does that mean? And for me, when I say I am an athlete, it means that today I'm going to take care of my mindset. I'm going to take care of my recovery, which means sleeping and the way that I eat and my own like meditation and that kind of stuff. It means I'm going to take care of my training, and all of those pieces kind of then come together to say that I'm an athlete. And I'm going to check in on myself. And I think when people embody that, it just gives them a statement of I am statements are extremely powerful. Mm-hmm. So when you can say I am an athlete versus like, yeah, I'm going to go work out today. I need to because, you know, I ate that cookie last week. It everything about your being and what fitness really can mean to you.
When a client start talking to you, do you start with the mindset work, or first you like to find the appropriate workout or sport for them, and then after that you start building up their mindset?
Everything together. So we kind of do both simultaneously. Most mindset work, people don't even realize that they're getting it. So it will say, you know, I'll start with something like, okay, what are your goals? And then I'll be like, well, why is that your goal? And then, well, what prompted that why? So let's break down. I'll just give you like a client example. So let's say a woman comes to me, and we'll just use kind of a similar scenario to me, and then we can do some other ones later. But woman comes in, she's in her 30s. She just started CrossFit 3 months ago, and she's just noticed that she's not very good at it, and she's not getting better any faster, and she's afraid she's going to get injured. She's had problems with her knees before, problem with her back before, and she just wants to check in and make sure that she's actually doing everything properly, and she doesn't know where to start. So in that initial interview, so our first time, I'll start talking to her, okay, like, what made you join CrossFit? and she will share something that is like her purpose. Well, I wanted to lose weight. Oh, well, what prompted you wanting to lose weight? What other things have you tried in the past? Well, I've tried every diet under the sun and none of that stuff worked. And I see a lot of people doing CrossFit and they lose a lot of weight, they get ripped, and that's what I want. Oh, okay. So what do you want to look like if you could pick your ultimate body? And then they start talking about like either a pant size or the way they look in the mirror or a muscle definition. And I'm like, okay, what do those things mean to you? So when you look at someone that has that, what does that mean to you that they have accomplished? And then we dive into, so one of the answers whenever I said that was, well, it just means that they work really hard. So you can just tell that they're really dedicated to it and they have been for a long time. Okay, so then that is the important quality that that person wants to showcase. There comes the mindset work. So then I ask them, what does hard work and dedication and fitness look like to you? How many hours a day do you think you need to train and how many days a week? Mm-hmm. And then they'll pick those numbers. Now we have an objective goal that doesn't have to do with anything with the way you look, but will get you there eventually, but it's smaller steps to get there. Sorry, we got someone knocking and dogs barking. So I think that there's a lot of aspects there as we kind of move forward that can help you grow and get objective goals. So that's kind of that starting off point, but mm-hmm. then it even goes farther. Now we look at how they move. So then we look objectively, okay, can you touch your hands behind your back? What does this look like? Yeah. Can you touch them?
My fingertips.
Okay, good. Can you touch your toes? Do your hips move well? Do your ankles move well? And this whole time that we're going through this, we're also talking about each of those aspects of, okay, well, why don't you move well there? Oh, I've never moved well. I've always never had good ankle mobility. I've always been a horrible runner. Oh, what makes you think that you're a horrible runner? And maybe it's a time. So you can kind of see how that mindset stuff starts pairing. Mm-hmm. And I'm just taking notes on all of that and then asking them to find a bigger vision, and to keep diving in. And when you pair that with movement, at least for me, when in the very beginning, when I started my journey, I couldn't quiet my mind enough to sit and meditate and really be true with who I was, but I could pair that with movement. And that's a lot of what yoga is. I'm not a yoga instructor, but that's what they're asking you, is to pair your mind and pair movement. So now I'm just asking to pair mindset and to pair movement, and then we bring in that inner athlete into the mix because we're growing and building them.
How long do you work with the clients usually, or how long does it take them for reaching their goals, or that when they can start working out themselves?
Yeah, so typically most of my clients, so my goal is that, my ultimate goal is that 75% of my clients stay with me for 5 or more years. Wow. And so that's my goal, but I don't want them to be dependent on me in that way. It's kind of a give and take, like a community relationship. Most people reach their goals of moving better in their first initial goal, I would say within 1 to 2 months. But then the picture gets bigger. And the biggest thing that people, I don't know if it's misconceptions or just really understanding, is that when you're an athlete, so when you're competing and training on a regular basis, which I think is great for you, your instance of injury is way higher because you're doing more reps. So it's like, it's just like if you sit on the couch all day long, your incidence of heart disease is higher. If you run every single day, your incidence of a stress fracture is going to be higher than that person sitting on the couch. You just have all these other benefits that kind of outweigh it. And so what I do is that I'm essentially on call for my clients. So any concerns that they have that come up, they just immediately send me a message. So they're paying me like a retainer fee to keep working with me, but also to have me on call. And then as they prep for big competitions, I help them with the mindset piece, or I help them with the movement piece, and kind of moving forward, and then connecting them with other coaches as their goals continue to grow.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. I love it. I mean, I am like, every day I wake up and I feel so blessed to work with all of my clients and live this life. It's been an incredible journey.
How long
honestly.
you been doing this?
So I've been a physical therapist for almost 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have run mobility athletes now for 3 years.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this common mindset tics that I really don't like, but I'm guilty about them too, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other women has the same thoughts. So why do we say that we don't have time, we are tired, we can't do this, or we hate going to the gym, or we hate working out?
Okay, so let's just dive into. Do you mind like getting some coaching right now as we go through?
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So, when, like, what's your workout history been like? So, what things have you? When did you first start working out, or being parts of teams, or doing things? What did that? When did that start, and what did that look like?
So when I was a child, about let's say about 9, 10 years old, that's when I started playing. I played tennis, I played volleyball, and in the school we played basketball. So I really liked those games with when we were in a team playing with the balls. And then later on, when I was growing up, I was influenced by other people, schoolmates, always going to the gym. So they made me go to the gym, and I hate it so much. I hated running, I hate weightlifting. And so there was like periods of time in my life I went to the gym for a couple months, 3 months, 4 months, and then I dropped it off. And that has been like always the story. Every year I go for a couple months and done.
Okay. So when you go to the gym, what kinds of things do you do while you're there? Do you typically lift weights? Do you do group classes? What kind of things do you do?
I run on the treadmill and I was doing weightlifting.
Okay. So typically what I think part of the reason that we start with is when you look at what you do now and what you enjoyed as a kid, they don't really look the same, except for the fact that you're getting your heart rate up. So we forget how to play. We forget as adults how to just have fun. What kinds of things do you enjoy outside of working out? Like, what do you like to do just for fun?
Just for fun, I'm a hobby photographer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I love being in the nature, outside, hiking and going on the beach and everything that's outside.
Awesome. Okay, so what would it look like if being in nature, being outside, and doing your workouts? What would it look like if those were all the same thing?
Well, sometimes we do this with my fiance, and I really do enjoy it when we go outside and just play basketball on the field. And I
Yeah.
love that.
Okay, so what I would say, like if you were my client, I would start searching in your area, and we would find like a basketball league or some outdoor like hiking groups that you could connect with, or areas that you could go in your region. But honestly, I think what you just explained is exactly what everyone thinks. So especially as is most of your audience females?
Most of them.
Yeah. I think even males too, though. We get caught up in this idea, like once we're adults, that you go to work all day and then you come home, but you know that you need to take care of your body or we're all going to get heart disease and die. So you're going to go run or walk on the treadmill, lift a couple weights, and then you're going to go home and you're going to eat some chicken and broccoli because that's what's healthy for you. And you're on this so regimented schedule. When we were our best, our healthiest as babies and kids, we practiced moving all day long. It's why we were so darn good at it. We were jumping off of things. We were jumping on things. When we were scared of something, we were crawling around on the floor. We were doing all of these different movements that then as adults become very rigid in the fact like, okay, I need to run or I need to lift heavy weights in order to be fit because that's what everyone else does. And this is how things need to be rather than just playing and having a good time. Is there a time and a place for like, okay, I don't have time to hike today. I need 20 minutes. I'm just going to go get a workout in. I am listening to my body and my body says, Nicole, you need to move today. Like, I don't care what you do, like, just move. And so I'll, like, do some push-ups, some squats, some sit-ups. Like, that is completely fine. But when I listen, for me, when I listen to my body says, I want to move with people. That's what my body says. Like, I want to move and I want to connect with people. So I try to get to the gym or I try to go for a run with my friends. And honestly, like, most of the time I like to do it at a conversational pace. Like, I don't like to be laying on the floor dead. I like to enjoy it. I like to laugh with my friends and make jokes. And that to me that's my fitness. And that's still me being an athlete. And other people, it looks completely different. And that's okay. That's the benefit of saying I am an athlete is that you get to take control over what that image looks like. So for you, maybe I am an athlete to you looks like you are really like you're an outdoor hiker or you're someone that gets the absolute best photography because you are like in it deep. You are off the trails. You're over here, over there. You climbed the mountain. And that's what fitness and that's what being an athlete looks like to you. And there's so many communities where you could find that, but you have to have a good time. If you're not having a good time and you're not listening to what your soul is truly telling you it wants to do, oh, you're going to fight every minute of it. You're going to slug on that treadmill and be like, which is how you feel. And that's why your brain never lies to you. So if you say that you hate something, you probably legitimately hate it. And that's okay. You don't have to feel bad about hating it.
I caught myself so many times I was on the treadmill walking or running and in my mind I hate doing this, but I have to do it. I have to be here.
Right. So then the next question is, why do you have to?
To lose weight, to be fit, to be healthy.
Yeah. So, but the thing is you can look around the world and you could probably find hundreds of thousands of examples of people that are fit and healthy, never set foot on a treadmill, right? So, so I think that that's where the mindset piece comes in is that with everything, like what's right for you isn't right what's right for me. The only commonality that we have is that when we work together towards a goal and we support each other and when you check in on yourself, then that's like truly whenever you're in alignment and you're doing the things that you love. Yes, like I am not a part of the culture of like the hustle, gotta make those goals, like go, 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 go. I was, and it exhausted me all the time. Even now I find myself falling back into that. And I think fitness falls right in line with that. Everyone thinks you gotta go harder. You gotta go longer. You gotta do all of these things. And it's the reason if you guys look around, like there are tons of athletes out there, like real professional athletes that have severe health issues because they have worked out to the point of hormonal imbalance. And so then they've done that chronically because they thought, longer, harder was better, but it wasn't. So we've got to start finding a balance and a way to start protecting our minds and our bodies from this story that we're telling ourselves. Are there going to be days that you have to do things that you just generally don't like? Yes, we all come up on things in life that we don't like. But if you're saying, like, I don't want to go to the gym, like every year I've joined the gym and every year I've quit, then one, you either have to ask yourself, like, is my higher self, like, if I sit here, I close my eyes and I think about, like, man, I right now am my healthiest self. I am an athlete. I am everything I want to be. And you look around you, so you have your eyes closed and you look around you. Do you see gym equipment? If you don't, you don't need to be there, because that's not what it looks like for you. Now, like if you close your eyes and you see like a barbell and you see yourself lifting heavy weight, or you see machines around, like there's people I know that love bodybuilding. They love it. They love to go to the gym and get their pump on. They feel amazing. Then that's you. That is fitness to you. And you should go and do that. And you should do it unapologetically. Do it safely, but unapologetically. And I think the more we can play, so just incorporating at least 1 to 2 days every single week, that is play. Get outside, run across a football field with your shoes off. Do something that makes you feel exhilarated and part of the earth. Our ancestors were the fittest individuals ever, and they did not go to gyms.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's the biggest thing. And as you go through it, surround yourself with other people that support whatever it is that you choose to do. So even if your friend likes going to the gym and you don't, it's okay. Like, support them and say, I'm like so proud of you that you went to the gym today. Don't feel guilty that you didn't go to the gym today and instead you went for a walk around your neighborhood. That's okay. But be proud of them and they can be proud of you too.
So we just need to find that one thing that we like to do, and then we will be fulfilled with the working out.
Yes, exactly. It's just like everything else. If you close your eyes and you ask yourself, what is my, like, if I had unlimited resources, unlimited money, unlimited time, all of these things, and I was the fittest and the healthiest version of me, what do I look like? And then how did I wake up this morning? And what did I do today? Don't ask yourself what workout you did. Just fill up your whole day that way with, like, I'm the fittest and healthiest, wealthiest version of myself. What does that look like? And you will find in there, like, because our bodies just crave to move so much, that you will find written in the lines of that story as you write it out, everything you need to know about your fitness and how to become the athlete that you really enjoy.
Thanks for this tip. I will do it, definitely.
Awesome. I can't wait. I'm going to check in on you, and I'm going to see what you come up with, and then we're going to put your plan into action so that you can feel good.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime. This is what I love to do.
And so I see one really interesting thing on your website, which is breathwork. Can you share about it? That what you do, how you implement it on the clients, what does it look like?
So actually I work with, so one of the biggest things, so remember my pillars, one of them is unity, and I believe unity and really high level professionals too. So I love collaborating. I love growing. It's the reason I have a podcast. It's the reason I love being on podcasts. But part of that unity for me was collaborating with really other high-level professionals that have gotten tons of stuff. So I actually work, any of you guys can follow the Midwestern Method, and his name is Jesse Comer, and he is a breathing expert and a Wim Hof expert. And so those of you guys that aren't familiar with Wim Hof, it is extreme cold and essentially hyperventilation breathing methods. Jesse also incorporates a lot of other types of breathing methods into his Midwestern coaching, but he's the expert to work with. So he helps me do mini courses for my athletes. So he'll come in and do an hour-long class, even virtually, for me, so that they can log on and they can really see and participate and go through breath work. For me, what breath work has done is it has really opened up my listening skills to myself. So I needed someone to talk me through that in order for me to be able to start to hear and become in tune with myself. And so once he has taken me through now several times, and he's given me like the numbers of my breath work and how to go deeper and how to, like before I work out, how to raise and stimulate my system and get it primed and ready to go. And afterwards, how to relax my system back down and how to get it to rest and digest rather than staying stressed out all the time. The reason that Jesse and I got together is because part of what we've already talked about here, but people think that they need to go all day and be stressed out. So we talked about the hustle, the grind. They see all day, go, 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 go. And then what happens is that then they see their workouts the same way. So then they show up to the gym tired. They only got 4.5 hours of sleep last night. They were up 7 times with their kids or tossing and turning, worried about work that day. They went to work, and even though maybe they have a seated job or even a manual labor job, they worked. Like mentally, they were like on the whole time. They're exhausted. They're stressed out. Their cortisol levels are through the roof. Then they show up for their workout and they want to do the exact same thing. So they show up, they walk in the door, their class starts in 2 minutes, and boom. All right, pick up the barbells, throw stuff around, jump up and down a lot, run as hard as you can, compete, 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 compete. And then you get done, and then you go home, you scarf down some food, and then guess what? We hop on our computers and we work, and then we go to bed and we wake up and we do it all again. So the reason that I started working with Jesse is that's a surefire way to get a bad injury. Your body will break down faster than you've ever imagined it to, and it will not heal naturally for you. It takes a long time. And so Jesse helped me tap into, with my own injury, the things that I was doing to my body on a daily basis. I never had, from the time I woke up, I grabbed my phone, scroll. And then I was already stressed. Then I went to work and I was stressed all day. And then I went to the gym and I trained hard and my body was stressed again. And then I wondered why I didn't have good digestion. I was gaining weight even though I was working out all the time, even if I was in a calorie deficit. And I was really unhappy. I was tired, but couldn't sleep. All of those kinds of things, that's not normal. That's whenever I talk about being an athlete, that is not it. And so breath work is what opens that up and allows you to change your system. So I do breath work first thing when I wake up in the morning, to cleanse myself and get myself ready for the day, get myself primed and ready. So when you hold your breath, so when you breathe in and you hold with, at the top, so breathe in, hold, that gets your system jacked up a little bit more. When you breathe out, the longer you breathe out and hold on an empty lung, that relaxes you more. So those are kind of the basic principles. There's some other things that you can incorporate. But at night, I do breath work. First thing in the morning, I do breath work. And then I even pair breath work with my workout. So I will look at a workout and I'll try to figure out, okay, when am I going to breathe? How am I going to breathe? What's the tempo going to be here? And that's all because Jesse has helped me get in tune with that. And I do believe that that's a big, big reason that now my shoulder, I tore my rotator cuff, I tore my labrum. I never had surgery. I treated myself and I was able to get this under control. I CrossFit. I do everything I want to do. And I'm stronger than I was 2 years ago whenever that happened. But in big part, it's because I take care of my body and I listen. And I think breath work and mindset were those biggest components to start with.
How long does it take in the morning for you to do some breath work?
About 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
So, yeah, I do 5 minutes of breath work just seated, and then I do 5 minutes while I go on a walk. So I actually like move and just try to get outside first thing in the morning. I live in the Midwest and it's really cold.
Yeah.
But I do try to do that. I think it's important. And so those are kind of my two things. But I have a 5-year-old. Prior to, my life has like slowed down a lot, but prior it was pretty busy. So it's nice just to be able to chill out. And 10 minutes is good, but it doesn't it's not so overwhelming that I don't get it done every single day, if that makes sense.
If somebody wants to start this, what's the first step that they can do to do the breath work every day?
So honestly, I would say start with following Jesse, his YouTube channel. He gives away a ton of information. So go to Midwest Method and you can follow him, and you can see a couple of videos with me on there too. And so they're kind of fun and educational, but that's where I would start. And Jesse is the giver of all things. So he has a great ebook that can really help you, but he does tons of guided things. So he will actually do an assessment and tell you where your breath is blocked, and he can do that all online and virtually.
Wow.
So reach out to him. Midwestern Method, he's incredible. I can't believe that I get the opportunity to live so close to him, because we live in rural America. We are in small town, and so for him to be so close and us to get to collaborate has been amazing. He just got back from Poland. He was doing excursions with Wim Hof and helping people in Poland, and so he's an incredible resource. I can't speak highly enough about him. Reach out or look for a Wim Hof course in your area. It's a really good start, and they're popping up a lot more frequently as well. So you guys could probably find one in your area, and trust me, it is worth the drive. If you have to drive 2 hours, it's worth it for the class, I promise.
Thank you for sharing that. I will look into it as well.
Awesome. You have to let me know. Gosh, look at all the things you're going to get. Man, you got full workouts. You're going to love being an athlete and fit. And you got this breath work stuff.
Yes. I'm going through a big transformation since last year. So I'm doing all the work that I can to develop myself, to improve in the most possible areas that I can. So I'm very open to everything that's new to me that can help me.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely woo-woo whenever it comes to a lot of this stuff, but I believe that everything you need is put right in front of your face. So, there's a reason that we connected. There's a reason that, that I'm getting to talk to you. You're giving me new perspectives, things that I'm after we get off the phone that I will journal and write about. So yeah, there's so much give and take, but if people just look around, don't think life is hard. Don't think, oh, I got a Monday or I got a Tuesday today and I got to hustle. Instead, look, because there's opportunity everywhere to grow and to be thankful. And when you start that, your trajectory will just shoot through the roof. That's what the last 2.5 years has been for me. And I wouldn't change that. Yeah. So you got it, girl. You're doing awesome.
Thank you. Can you share about your group coaching? Because I know you mentioned to me that it's a new program of yours. So I would like to hear about that as well.
I would love to. So I have a group coaching program. My one-on-one spots are almost completely full. And sometimes people, it is, so to work with me, it's a 6-month investment. So whenever you're working one-on-one with me. But the group coaching program is 6 weeks, and it's intensive. And my goal with the 6 weeks was to teach everyone everything they need to be able to train 4 or more days a week forever. So to be able to do that safely and know how to really deal with injuries, soreness, listening to our bodies, how to move better. We develop custom checks for yourself. So if you are missing flexibility in areas, we find it and we can identify and say, okay, you're missing flexibility in your spine. Here's warm-up things that you should be doing on a regular basis. And we develop all of those pieces. So it's a 6-module course. The first module is all about assessment, you assessing yourself, and then you get time with me one-on-one as a physical therapist too. And then the second week is the most essential stretches. So we find the exact stretching program that you need to be doing so you're not wasting time stretching things that you're fine with. The third is all about stability. So how to stabilize our joints. And that is the crucial stepping block to strength. And then we go through and we do strength training. I believe that strength training is extremely important. It's been shown to be some of the best things for arthritis, osteoporosis, heart disease, all these chronic illnesses. Really, strength training has been shown to be one of the most effective ways to eliminate those. And then we go through video analysis. So how to videotape yourself in the gym, and no, not for the Instagram, although the gram will love it if you put it up there too. But to send it to me, and then we figure out how to analyze it. And then the last piece is building your team. So the last piece is really how and when to get coaches to reach into your community and find maybe teams that you want to be a part of or clubs that you want to be a part of. And what we do is that I help each of you research individually and find those things. So that kind of covers the 6 weeks, but threaded in there is everything that we talked about today. So it's the mindset piece, PASIC Performance Group, which is a high performance coach that works with a lot of Division I universities. He has given us a 35-day mindfulness series that you go throughout the whole course. Jesse does a breathwork training, and then I do mindset pieces. You meet with me every single week on video chat. We go through the modules for that week, as well as questions, and make sure that you get hot seat and one-on-one time. So it really just, my goal is move better, assess yourself, and listen to your body. And then that will lead to your ultimate progression. So anyone that's interested in like learning to love fitness, learning to wake up and embody like I am an athlete, and whether you have abs or not, being able to say that and feel the power from that, that's what this program's all about.
That's very nice. Thank you for sharing that.
Well,
I'm pretty sure it's full of values, and people can learn a lot from you about themselves to improve their lives, and of course their training methods, and to develop themselves for a better version. So
yes,
it's really important what you are doing, and it's so unique that I never heard about anybody else who is doing like not even similar work. So thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I think that there's some really great things going on in the space, and I'm super proud to kind of hold the space where I'm at. And, but please, anybody that's interested, please know, like, it is a space of a love and a push. Like, I'm a coach. I want to push you to be the best version of yourself, but it's really a place of love. I think there's so much negativity around fitness, and there's really none of that. It's just learning how to move as best as you're capable. And so I would love to have anyone join. The cart actually closes Thursday at midnight. Dun, dun, dun. So
Where
join
can
us.
people find you or find the course?
So you can find me on Instagram, Mobility Athletes, or also Mobility Athletes is our Facebook group as well, and that's a free Facebook group. You guys can post questions or videos. I analyze in there, and then I'm getting ready to start weekly training, so you're definitely going to want to join in there too. And then I'm Nicole Woodard, also on Facebook, so you can also send me a private message if you need to as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Nicole. It was amazing.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate you, and thanks for holding the space for me to be able to share my story and
Yes, of
hopefully
course.
help somebody find out how to love fitness today.
Yes. And thank you for your personal advices for me. I will
Oh,
use them.
awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing how you do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good one. Thank you so much for tuning in into today's episode. If you loved and enjoyed the show, please share it with someone else who would enjoy it as well. And also, don't forget to subscribe or turn on the notification so you don't miss out on the next episodes. If you are not following me on social media, please send me some love at Miracle Magnet Babe on Instagram. And if you take a screenshot of today's episode, please post it and tag me. It always makes my day and I can repost it in my story. I love you and I can't wait to share my next episode with you.